Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. It's your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and welcome to another fresh new episode for your Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well and having a great week out there. Changed it up on you, released the show a little bit later today. Maybe a different crowd out doing different things, different times of day. Maybe you don't listen to it when you first get up, but you listen to some other ones and you find this one later in the day. It pops up new, refresh in your feed. So changing that up on you, but we are rocking and rolling, man. We are halfway through June and just cranking out projects left and right, which is a blessing. Getting some kinks worked out in our maintenance department, which is also a blessing. And then we're going to be ready to fire on all cylinders for the rest of the year. So really quickly, though, I want to talk to you today for just a few minutes. Like I said before, we've done this the last couple, month or two, about how Wednesdays are just a little bit shorter, little pick-me-ups, little hit on a topic for a short period of time. And then we will wrap up and keep it short for the day. But what I want to talk about is what we have on a job, when you have a job that goes into a change order. And we are kind of getting into these jobs more and more. And you're seeing, and we're talking about like the beginning phases of this, you're seeing our business kind of unfold and it develop, which is a great thing. We're excited for it. But we're young. We're rookies. We're figuring this stuff out. And so we're trying to share that with you and show you the ins and the outs of it, of where the good and the bad is and what that looks like. There are positives and negatives to all of it. We win some, we lose some, and we learn from a lot. But we've had two jobs recently that go into change orders, and that's been a good thing and a bad thing. So one of them, start with the good first. One of them was a very positive change order. They wanted to just add on a big gravel addition to the job. If you've been following along on Instagram, you've seen we've been on a big stormwater project, and so that stormwater project has now since been added to with this gravel addition, and so we brought in 2 triaxles of gravel, and we're graveling a parking lot and doing a little bit of extra work there, which is good. So that was an easy change order. It was very simple. Hey, we want to do this. Obviously, it's not in the scope. Give me a price on it. Let's do it. We can do it more cost effective for them because we already have machines on site. Gravel can get delivered and dropped right there. All we got to do is spread it, and so it works well. We're not having to mobilize trucks, trailers, all that again. And I told them, I was like, look, if we want to do it, let's do it now. I do not want to mobilize twice. It's going to save you some money being able to do it now. So we did that. They said, all right, let's pull the trigger and do it. So we are in the middle of that. And literally, like as we speak, the guys are doing that. And also, we have our second change order, right? So that's our first one, right? That's very simple, very straightforward. Make the changes, build out the formal estimate, send it to them. This is the price. Here we go. And they'll approve it. Add that to the job. Let's go to the second change order. This one's where it gets a little bit more complicated and a little bit hairy, and a little bit more into like, hey, this is why your contract matters. And not necessarily your contract. Contract's a dirty word. It's a scary word. People don't really like it. But it is a word that your service agreement. That sounds much better because that's what it is. I'm not locking you into a contract. We are agreeing on a service that we are performing. And so what this was we were tearing out a backyard where we were tearing out a bunch of liriope and monkey grass around a sidewalk, and the sidewalk was very old stone, natural stone, mortared together. It's been there for a long time, and I would say probably 20 plus years. And it was there. This liriope is all around it, up and down both sides, like all around it, and it was just like our scope was come in, pull the liriope, and be done. Sod it, get out of there. Well, we got in there and started pulling liriope, and we knew we were going to have some handwork right along the edges. That was all fine. It's priced accordingly. But we got in there and started doing it, started doing hand work and machine work. And even machine work 2-3 feet away from the sidewalk was destroying the sidewalk. Hand work with a pickaxe up against it. The roots were running all up under the stone, all up under the mortar, and it was just cracking. We would pull one chunk of Laripe out, pull the roots, and chunks of mortar and rock would come with it. The rock was super old and brittle, and it was breaking. And so we got out there, and we were, 30 minutes in, an hour in, and the guys were like, look, I wasn't on site. They just called me, and they were like, look, we can't, this isn't going anywhere. Me not being on site, I'm like, come on, we can figure it out, right? But literally just, it wasn't happening. And so I saw video of it. I was like, yeah, you're not getting anywhere. The guys tried, they did their best. But we were just not making progress. We were going to go backwards big time. And so called the customer, hey, this is what's going on. This is where we're at. He wasn't home either. And I was like, look, the sidewalk's here. It's not necessarily necessary. It's going through the backyard. Nobody really uses the back porch as far as coming down it and walking up that way. It's not a super steep grade. It's a very walkable slope, so we could sod it over it and be done. But I was like, look, we're probably going to have to just rip this out. This is where we're at. Our best bet's going to be ripping this out. And he was like, yeah, I agree. And this is where, rookie contracting, kid contracting, imposter syndrome comes in of, well, I didn't really want to charge him for that, for ripping that sidewalk out. And looking back on it, I definitely should have. I did not. I kind of did. I recovered a little bit. I told him we would need some additional sod, which we did need some additional sod than what we had bid, because we were filling in a 4-foot wide sidewalk, 4 foot by probably 60 foot sidewalk. So we got 250 square, almost half a pallet of sod we're having to add into this project now. So I told him we'd have to charge for that, because that was our, literally physical. We have literal cost on that. We have to pay for that sod, and so and we have literal costs in overhead too, and time on jobs, right? That's literal costs, and that's where you guys. That's where you got to get Element, right? And I know this because I have the software, and I know this because I know what I should be and shouldn't be charging because of the software and peers in the industry and all of that. And so we ended up taking the sidewalk out, and I did not charge an egregious amount of money. I didn't really even charge the full rate that we should have charged for the sidewalk. I charged him $275 was the addition. And it's one of those things that's it sucks, but it made our lives easier. I was kind of struggling because I don't have anything in my contract stating that, I didn't have anything in there about the sidewalk breaking or anything like that, any contingencies, which I should have. Going back to the estimate now, I got to start looking at those things and looking at surroundings and be like, look, what's the condition of this? Is it going to break? If it does break, are we liable for it? Are we liable for it? If we're not liable for it, are we going to take it out? Are we going to pay to take it out? All those things. And so that's the beauty of having Element in the software and the estimating portion is you can do all that inside of your estimate, no problem. But you just got to do it, and you got to learn to see those things and to catch an eye for those things. And so we ended up taking it out, and it was easier on us, right? I should have billed them, yes, but it saved us a lot of time. It took our handwork from a lot of handwork to almost no handwork, because we were just able to go in there with a machine, forks under the sidewalk, rip it up, no problem. Like I said, it was all old natural stone. It wasn't a big deal to rip it up. And so we had to haul it off. That was tough, but luckily we have a place to dump. It's our property, so we don't have to bill it, but we should be billing that, right? If we were taking it to a dump. And because of that, we should have billed that, because even though we didn't have to pay for it, somebody's got to pay for it, right? And so we are paying for it in our property and our mortgage every month. But that's neither here nor there. We should have charged more. I get that. I know that. And so moving forward, we have to have better verbiage in our agreements. This is what we're liable for. This is what we're not liable for. We're going to do this. We're not going to do this. And the more that you do it, the more you're going to learn, the more we're going to learn. But I just wanted to talk about that and share that. That is a perfect example of you're going to go through something like that on your job. You're going to run into that scenario. Maybe it's on a sidewalk, whatever it is for you. You pick your poison. But you're going to run into that, and how are you going to approach it? I know next time going into it, one, I need to just be ahead of it in the estimate portion, and two, I need to have a little bit more kahunas to just stand up and say, look, yeah, we got to charge you for this. Because the customer would have been fine with it, right? I just want to take care of them. And there's a little bit of both of that, right? Like, how much money did it cost us? Because we saved time and labor. It did not cost us money to dump at the property. We were already dumping debris there. This was just a little bit more debris. So, really, at the end of the day, you can almost look at it and be like, is this one of those you just case-by-case scenario? Hey, you know what? We're going to take it. We're going to take it for you. No issues. And you earn a little rapport with your customer ahead, like a little bit extra. And they're really happy because you don't bill them an extra $1,000 for tearing the sidewalk out, because neither one of us foresaw that sidewalk cracking. So it's not like he's more liable for it than I am, other than it's just his property. So I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I would love feedback. If anybody's got feedback and you're like, hey, I've been through this, I've known this, then I would love to hear what you're doing that works for you. But if it was more than that, if we had more direct costs tied to the job, like I said, with the sod, he got billed for the sod. If we had direct costs tied to it, there's no doubt about it, we would be billing him for it. But something like this, where it's like, it's not totally direct, it saved us some time, we didn't have to do handwork, it made it easier on the guys. It was really just a win-win for everybody. But be careful and look out for change orders. They're coming, especially if you get into bigger landscape jobs. And so just make sure you have your head on a swivel and you are prepared for what is to come in this business. So I hope you guys are having a great week. That's all I want to talk about, is just change orders and how you can approach those. So give us a big 5-star rating if you don't mind. If you enjoyed the show, a little bit different, just solo here and there, some guest episodes here and there. But I'm trying to share and show you the ins and the outs of running this business and the good and the bad to it, because there's a lot of people showing you the highlight reel and not a lot of people showing you the downside. And this was I don't know if this was a downside or not. You vote. You tell me, was this a downside or not? In my opinion, it wasn't. It did not cost us that much more money. It did not cost us that much more time. And the customer's really happy because of it. So I don't think that we did anything really terribly wrong. But some of you bigger guys that do this for a living on a much bigger scale may have better feedback. So I don't know. I'm open. I'm all ears. Reach out and let me know if we can ever help you guys. We appreciate you. We love you. We care about you. We'll catch you on Friday for another one. Without any further ado, I'm going to wrap this one up. And we'll catch everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.